Howdy y'all, it's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful, well, you could almost see the sunrise, Atlanta, Georgia. Today is March the 28th, 2024. And on today's video, we got some bipolar weather, but it's not supposed to rain. All right, so here's the question. Let me get in this truck here. This is the question. Do your customers trust you? If they don't trust you, well, what can you do about it? So yesterday, I did a video that was the #1 key to success in the lawn care business, which is showing up when you're supposed to show up to do the service in your customer's yard. And I want to give you a quick story about customer trust. And this is also very, very important. Maybe this could be the #2 thing if you want to label them like that. So I have a customer that we did a cleanup on for. This customer is out of state. The house is a rental house, but it's a very, very nice house. It's vacant and it's got a nice yard, nice property. And the owner lives about 1,000 miles from here. So I already know off the bat that there's a little apprehension on their end because they don't know us. They don't know me. There are a lot of landscapers out there that will take advantage of situations like that where the owner's not around. So it's very important for you to deal in a manner that promotes trust for your customers. So this customer requested some photos, and I actually, when I went to do the estimate on the yard, I sent the photos of the yard the way it was. And then the day I got there, I sent some more photos, and then I did after photos. Now they just requested some photos because in a situation like that, I don't know when the last time they were down to see the property, but you are their eyes and ears if you have an owner that's absent from the property like that, especially if it's vacant. So I did that, and I sent a bunch of before and afters, and they were absolutely thrilled with it. They liked the job, and they were very appreciative of that. So fast forward, maybe a couple weeks later, we ended up picking up the client as one of our regular bi-weekly mowing accounts. And I did not, I did what I normally do. I sent them an email. I scheduled them for their day. And we actually had to delay the service a day because of the rain. Now, the customer doesn't know anything about that, but because I send emails out, they knew what was happening. And they were actually very appreciative that I even bothered to send an email to reschedule. So when we get there to do the yard, after we did it, I said, you know what I'm going to do? The customer didn't ask me to do this, but I'm like, I'm going to send them a quick 25 or 30 second video walk around of the yard after we had finished it because it looked good. And it takes, 25 or 30 seconds, maybe walking back to the truck. So you're invested a couple minutes in this. So I did that and texted it to the owner, and that was just it. I never expected to hear back. Well, a couple hours later, you would have thought that I had given them a lottery ticket that was a winning lottery ticket because they were so, you could tell from the text, they were so incredibly appreciative that I took the time to do that. And I can kind of read between the lines a little bit. It's hard to know if the contractor that you're paying is actually doing the work when you're not there to see it. But video don't lie. So I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is a very, very good idea to do for some of my customers that aren't around. And I always, the first time I do work for a customer, whether they live in the house, whether they're there, it doesn't matter. I am going to send them usually some before and after pictures just for their records. They don't have to do anything with them, but, and nobody's ever said, why'd you do that? That just, it's things like that separate yourself from the other, 9,000 other landscapers in the area. And that's probably not an exaggeration around here. During the week, you can't go more than 60 to 90 seconds down any road around here and not either pass somebody, another landscaper with their truck going down the road, or seeing somebody in the neighborhood. There are literally probably within I'm going to say a 10,000 mile, within a 10-mile radius of me, probably 40,000 houses. And in this county, there's hundreds of thousands of houses. This is just solid. This is a huge county, and this is solid urban metropolis suburbia. That's all, the only way I can describe it. It's amazing. And the counties that surround us, it's the same way. Like Metro Atlanta, like 65 miles across and north and south, is pretty much solid. It's just solid suburbia, man. It's just, there's 6.5 million people here. And it seems like there's 6.5 million houses, but there's not that many, but there's a lot. So this market is extremely, I'm going to say saturated, but there's no end, it seems like, to the amount of customers that are available if you do good work and if you do some of the things that I do in my own practice. I just do a lot of this stuff because I would like it if a contractor did that for me. And I just kind of think, what would I like? And just kind of go above and beyond for stuff like that. But customer trust, you have to think of ways to get that customer trust. And I'm going to tell you this, okay? You're always thinking about new customers and stuff, but what about keeping your old customers that you have? If you have a customer that trusts you and trusts your business, you basically have a customer for life, okay? And it's expensive to get new customers unless you just don't do any sort of advertising at all. But a customer that trusts you is a valuable asset. So I would certainly encourage you guys to maybe think about ways that you can increase your customers' trust in you and your business. There's lots of things that go into that, but I think the most important thing is doing what you say you're going to do, whether that's showing up, whether it's doing the work that you told them you were going to do, send estimates out in writing, have everything, I don't do estimates over text. They can contact me by text, but the estimate's going to go out in an email and it's a PDF. I use Yardbook and it generates an estimate. And I've never, ever had anybody question, hey, I thought you were going to do this. There's no misunderstandings because it's in writing. And they see exactly what the scope of work is. So, estimate approval. I really appreciate when I see things like that says Yardbook estimate approval. That's a good feeling. That's another good example. I'm going to give you this example right here. I have a customer that's always out of town. Like, they're always out of town. So that's almost like an absentee owner. But they trust me and the company we're going to go service the yard. They're out of town, and I don't think they're going to be back for, I don't know, a long time. Could be a month. But they trust us to do the yard and to do what we say we're going to do. Now, I don't normally send a video of that, but when we go, we're going to be doing some extra work for them here in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to send them a video because they won't be here to see it. I think that's just something that's smart business. So what do you guys do? I want to hear your thoughts. What do you do? What have you done in your business to garner that customer trust? And is there anything that maybe now that you're thinking about it that you're going to do differently if you haven't been doing that? Maybe you have some good ideas that I could implement, some good ways to foster that relationship with your customer. so that they trust you. I mean, that's the bottom line. So we have 12 on the schedule for today. We didn't get some done yesterday. And I had my neighbor right up the street. He said, the grass isn't growing, just skip us. Grass is growing. It needs to be cut, but what can I do? It's my neighbor. But anyway, so I've got a bunch in my neighborhood to do. I've got 2 that are on the other side of Lawrenceville, but almost all of them are either in my neighborhood or just right a couple neighborhoods over. So that's about as thick route density as I get around here. But I'm gonna take it. We're not gonna be doing that much driving, so we should be able to knock these out pretty fast today. I hope we'll get done maybe around 2 or 3. That would be good. Seeing as today is the last day, Thursday, that we do any schedule mowing. And yeah, please put down in comments if you have some other ideas that you've used. If you have maybe some ideas you haven't used but you would like to try. I'd like to try to implement some different things, maybe for my existing customers and or customers that are new. So anyway, I'll there's one yard down there, it's full of dandelions. I may video that a little later today. But most of these yards, there's nothing really exciting about it. But I think I do want to, I'll get us mowing that dandelion yard. And who knows, maybe some other stuff will come up that I haven't seen. But anyway, whatever the next clip is, I don't know what it's going to be. But I appreciate you guys. And yeah, put down in the comments and see if you can give us some ideas. All right, so I want to show you guys this. If you see a hill like that dumping into a house, see how mushy this is? I've gotten my right 36i stuck in here before. The telltale sign is if you see drains in the yard. Got an imprint there, but this is really, really soft. There's another drain right there. I used to do this hill right here. It's got about 8-foot elevation. It's very steep. I used to do that with my 36 right. Not recommended. Trim Star. I didn't even have to walk it. But yeah, this is another good example of soft soil that can sneak up on you. If I had the a stander or a sit down, wouldn't work. Have to get the push mower out. Just another benefit of having the Trim Star. Sound like a Trim Star commercial. All right, this is number 2. We're gonna keep on moving.